Hello, you little YouTubers. I thought I'd give you guys a new background. I'm up in my top room right now. Now, I have to, this is Valma Hagar, by the way. And when I did this right now, I thought of my friend, Scott Ford. He was imitating me on his show the other day. You have to watch him, The Scott Ford Show. He's on Rumble and he's on YouTube. He's all one word, The Scott Ford Show. And he was going, Valma Hagar, she's always... Well, you know what you do, Scott? You go like this. Hello, boys and girls. Is it that or is it this? And some little heart bubbles out to you today. I love my friend Scott. Okay, now I have something really important to teach you today. It's about why you don't ever get what you really ask for from God. And how come you never quite make it? I know why. But before I tell you, I want you to hit that subscribe button down there. Hit subscribe, hit like, and then maybe say something nice to me. Oh, there I go again. You know, Scott's got me real conscious now of doing this. I guess I do it. And I also pick at my hair. And he mimicked me. He made me laugh out loud, because it's true. We all fly our little freak flag, and I'm flying mine. Here's my little freak flag. Anyway, okay, you guys, now, buy my book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places, or Hidden Treasures in Dark Places. One is as good as the other. They're both 5-star on Amazon, okay? You can hear Pippa downstairs. She's having a fit, my bird, because when she can't see me, she calls me. She just loves me. Now, I hope this comes out as good today. I taught on this the other day at a little Bible study I do for some girls in Puerto Rico, and it was impromptu. I didn't plan it. It just came out. And oh my gosh, I learned from it. Okay, here we go. If you look in the book of Exodus in the Bible, you will see that the Jews, when they were released from Egypt by Pharaoh, God had promised them a promised land, a land he was giving them. And the place they had to travel to was basically 40 miles away. A 3-day journey. A 3-day journey. They took 40 years to get there. 40 years for a 3-day journey. Now, listen to me, you guys. We're doing the same thing. We want to laugh and go, what bozos? What in the heck took them 40 years when it was a 3-day journey? Well, how many of you today are 40, 50, 60 years old and you have not gotten your promised land yet? Huh? How many of you? Because I'm going to tell you why they didn't get there. And then, but before I tell you why, I'm going to tell you this much. When they did get there, they didn't get in. They didn't even get to go in to the promised land. Only 2 of them out of, they have given speculations of how many people they think were with them. We don't know, but we know this. It was hundreds of thousands of people that traveled this distance, and they didn't get in. They traveled for 40 years. They got right to the promised land and didn't get in. Let me tell you something, you guys. First of all, they wandered around out there whining and complaining the whole time. They whined, they complained. God gave them what he called manna. Manna was a provision for them to eat every day. They could not save it. They could not pick up some today and save it for tomorrow. You had to eat every day what he brought to you. Now listen to the story behind the story. This is about worrying about tomorrow, okay? So they had manna to eat every day. But you know what? They didn't want the manna. No, we want some meat. We don't want manna. Okay. I mean, duh. Okay, you know what? God sends them meat. He sends them all these quail. And they ate till they were sick. They were all throwing up. Now, does God mind if you eat meat? No, of course he doesn't. But if he gives you something and you're not satisfied with it, you never know what you might end up with in the end. Maybe nothing. So they wander around whining and complaining. We should have just stayed in Egypt because at least there we had this and that and the other thing. They're whining and complaining, and they are participating in all kinds of ungodly things. They are making molten idols. They're idolizing other things. They're just doing everything they shouldn't be doing, which hinders your path to paradise, which hinders your path to your promised land. You have a promised land too. Every one of us do. Every one of us have it. But most of us, just like the Israelites, probably never get in, even if we get there, because of our whining and complaining and not knowing, not paying attention to what God says. Now, I want to go back to the story, because now they finally get to the edge of the promised land. They're there. They make it. And you know what they say now? There's giants in the land. We can't fight those giants in the land. They won't go in and fight the giants in the land. Now, these were not just big people. Giants in the land are the same things you're fighting and I'm fighting. We're all fighting something, right? But we have to fight them. If you don't get into the land. Just like the Israelites didn't get in. Only 2 of them. Caleb and Joshua said, we can fight the giants. And they got into the promised land. Out of that whole group. I don't know about you, but when I got the revelation of this story, and you have to look beyond the story. You have to look into the story. Read between the lines. How does that relate to your life today? The Bible is liquid. It never changes, but it always changes. You know what I mean? It's like it stays the same, but it represents so many different things. And until you get your mind opened enough to understand it, you won't get it. I love this story, you guys. How many of you are sitting on the edge of your promised land saying, we can't go in because there's giants in there? How many? I bet I could find most of you. Most, I hate to say that. Or at least a good majority of you. I won't say most. I'll say a good majority of you are sitting on the sidelines saying, how come nothing good ever happens to me? How come everything bad happens to me? This is Murphy's Law hitting me again. You know what? You got to stop the negativity. Stop it. Start thinking, I can do this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm going to go in and take the land. I'm going to go in and fight the doggone giants. I'm 80 years old and I'm still fighting those giants. This is a giant in my land, but you know what? I'm not letting it stop me. I'm going forward. Pray for my eyes. I know I tell you that every time, but I want everybody praying for my eyes, because you know what? I am not giving up. I heard this saying yesterday. I loved it. And Einstein said it. He said, there are 2 kinds of people. Those that never believe in miracles or believe a miracle can happen, and those that expect a miracle to happen every day. That's me. I expect a miracle to happen every day. And you know what? The ones that expect them are the ones that get them. Remember, as you believe, it is done unto you. I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. Believe with me. Believe that you can go in and fight those doggone giants in the land, and stop your whining and complaining, because whining and complaining gets you nowhere. What you focus on is what you feed. If you're focusing on your problems, you are feeding your problems. So stop focusing on them. Start focusing on, what does God say about this? What does God say about me and what I can do? Boy, this is really an inspirational one. I'm even inspired. I'm so inspired. I might go out and take the giants out of the land even today. I can do this, and so can you. Okay, you guys, look, I talked for 9 minutes, but I'm telling you, this is a big subject. It's big and it needs a lot of study. Go into Exodus and read about those little guys that wandered around in the desert for 40 years when it was only 3 days away. They took 40 years to go 40 miles. How long has it taken you to go your distance? And where are you? Are you somewhere important, or are you still wandering around the desert complaining? All right, you guys, subscribe. Send this to a friend, will you? And buy my book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places. And Scott, okay, little boys and girls, here's some heart bubbles out to you. All right, you guys, until next time, this is your friend Velma Hagar saying, bidding you a blessed day and reminding you, fight the doggone giants. Bye.